So I'll hand over to Alberto.
Oh, that's fast. Morning.
Morning.
The quality is the beginning of everything. And we come back to the origin of the other discussion last time. So this morning I go back a bit like this, touching here and there the key points. But the quality that gives us the product is the solid base where everything is starting. Without a product, you can be a genius in marketing, fine. But it's not a long-term vision. It's not a matter of markup because I sell it at a high price. I give you a value, you have something. You buy a cashmere sweater and you pay for something, and you have it. Then, as I said last time, you can say, okay, my budget this season is 500 pounds or 800 pounds. Instead of buying one in Loro Piana store, that will be forever, I go to someone here and I buy 10, 80 pounds each. It's called cashmere, probably is similar to cashmere, but there is cashmere and cashmere. How I understand the quality? Well, I will see at the end of the year because I probably throw away this 10 that I bought because peeling will be thick, massive. But I bought cashmere. So how could you let understand to the people that is entering here that a blue blazer like this is costing 30% the blue blazer like, I don't know, whatever. That is a blue blazer. It's wool, it's wool. It's made in Italy. So how? How is possible? How could we survive at the end of the day? Because we do collections, we work hard, all together. Our part is 6 months of work of a huge team of people. We start to buy the raw material at the origin through auctions in Australia. Every month there is an auction. For instance, now, not now, June, where you go to buy the raw material before the starting of the season. So every month you buy and your warehouse is completely filled. You mix the prices. China restarted properly back to buy fashion that was stopped in the last 5 years. And when China starts, they eat a lot, they are a lot. So if you buy a product in an auction, and the request is going dramatically up, prices plus 20%. The whole wool that you will have spring summer 18 and the winter 18 increase at the origin of 20 and then now another 20, 40% plus the cost of the raw material. So what you do, what we do, what the people is doing, because the 40% increase of cost is meaning not that you buy a 40% higher price, because the raw material is the real 30% of the total cost, because there is the making and a lot of things. So we have two ways how we react in the market. A, we increase the cost, let's say €1 a meter, to your team in Maguire Street. But we are already very expensive. B, we lose profit, because we keep the prices, but we lose the profit, because we sell something that we buy more expensive. One is quite risky, the second even more, because if we don't make business, we close. There's no sense. Everybody is here to make money in the world. But if I increase the cost, I probably lose the 50% of my market, because I don't know if you know how it's working behind the scenes, but the people that are designing the collection is saying, okay, that's a blue piece of fabric. Who is doing this? Everybody's producing wool in the world. You have 100 suppliers of this, exactly this. And this you pay in China, $4, in Turkey maybe 7, in Italy from 8 to 19. Guess where we are? 19. So why do they have to buy this? What's the reason? We increase the cost, but we increase the quality as well. The same reason why in 2009, everybody remembers 2009, the horrible year in the life of the business, where the banks exploded, crisis, drama. We had to face a reaction that was a drama, because we sit down in a company, Mr. Loropiana was still there, and he called a big meeting before the fair where we present the fabrics to all the designers in the world, a big fair. And he said, guys, everybody is outside in trouble. Nobody knows when this wave will end. Everybody's scared. The market was paralyzed. Nobody was selling anything. Even the restaurants were empty. It was quite, especially here, you had big troubles in London with all these banks. So how the market reacts? Going down with the prices, for sure. Because the problem is that when I do this, I have to face the designer that has a markup to respect. Your business. So the market is not understanding that the markup could be a bit lower to grab a different part of the market. So the cut of the cost is always on our shoulders. So Mr. Loropiana said everybody is going to decrease the prices 10 to 20%. Sure. Equal. You know, yeah, of course. And we do. Forget it. It's not our way. Because think forward, not tomorrow morning. The market in 1 year will offer all the brands. They are downgrading the quality because they buy cheaper. Because it's not that if I sell you this at 10, and then I come and I say, oh, you know what, this season is 8, you think I'm stupid or a cheater. So how could I make it? I make it differently. I change the ingredients, I downgrade the quality, because it's cheaper, it's costing less, and I give you the same product, very similar, at a different price. We didn't do it. He said, not at all. I don't touch a penny on my prices. And we, the sales team, we were, no, please, we have to sell. We close, we shut down. No, the market will be down flat, because for this sort of prices, you cannot buy this, but only this quality. We keep our prices, but our Super 130, we do it better. So at the same price, I give you Super 150. Example with a car. If I'm going to buy, I don't know, X3 of BMW today at 50 as a base, I give you the X3 at 50, but full optional. I give you a better quality at the same price. It's completely different division. And who was able to understand this in 2 seasons, upgraded the brand value, because they focus all the communication only on the part of high quality, in 2 seasons. To upgrade the brand value, it takes ages and money. So we come back to the origin, the quality, and the quality. And the quality is always paying back. Now we do the new developments of the quality. Are you familiar with the storm system? You know what I'm talking about, storm system. It is this membrane. There is a piece of fabric, and behind the fabric we put this, it looks like plastic, but it's like Gore-Tex. You don't know because it's with the lining normally, else it's broken. But this is exactly like the Gore-Tex. It's breathable, it's keeping you warm, and is wind and rain proof, not water resistant. You can go under a storm, well, maybe not a storm like the last one that came in the Caribbean, but when it's properly raining, and in London you have, with this you're dry, completely dry. Outside, the fabric has a treatment when it has this inside. This is the same, but with 3 layers. I think you use this in summer or next week. I'm totally confused. We are on winter 18 now. This is winter 17. And this is too early in the morning. So this is the same with 3 layers that you can find inside some jackets, and this exactly protecting. So outside, on the surface, the fabric has a rain system. So we put like the spray you put on the shoes to protect from the rain. It's just resistant to the water. So you have this outside and this inside. The rain system treatment outside is made with some chemical products. You must do it. We did 2 years ago, so now it's official since 6 months, this treatment outside without any chemical product. PFC-free is the technical PFC-free. Oh God, it's in Italian. I can't translate it. Well, without fluorides, chemical stuff, fluorides. You can wash the garment. Well, it's not wool because we have also nylons and so on. 10 times in the water, 5 times dry cleaning, and it's keeping everything outside. The inside, you don't touch it because you have the lining. And the inside, the membrane, that is again derivative from chemical products because you must have this. Now we do it 50% organic. In any case, nobody in the world is able to have this performance with this solution. And this is where we are going more and more and more. In our mill, that I would like to show you maybe in a minute, we have the water that is very important in our process. That is dirty because you dye, you have the soaps, you have the chemical products to dye the yarns. And where you put this water? You cannot put it in the river because else it becomes a purple, pink, yellow, and orange, and blue. So there are some systems to clean it up, and we recycle it through bacteria, natural osmosis. So we don't put another, I was using a bad word, a chemical product to eat a chemical product, but we recycle through natural bacteria. We had, you know, the red fish, the small one, like in Japan, and we have this fish in this water. So one day, I would like to invite all of you, I always say to the guys, I mean, it never happens, to visit our mill. Now I let you see 2 minutes of our mill, because you really understand that you arrive in this place where the raw materials are, the bales. 150 kilos of dirty, smelling wool coming from Australia. Big. And you see the whole process. We open, we comb, we wash. They are prepared to become a yarn. But when you make them, so these are animals, so you have to really comb, wash, clean, and some machines are dividing. And you have this very, 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 very thin plies that are really fluffy. You cannot make a fabric because that is getting broken on the looms in a second. So we put together, this is called fiber, we put together few of these very thin yarns to obtain 1 yarn. Literally. I don't want to destroy anything here, but yeah, 1 yarn. The yarn and the yarn, warp and weft, combined on the looms are making the fabric. You can have double, you can have triple, you can have torsions. On one side, you can have the torsion. On the other side, you can have one like this, the other is like that. We put together. You can have a lot of things. This, we go technical, is not necessary. But from the first process to the end, there are 75 different phases of work. The quality control, and we go back to this word, I'm obsessed with this word, for us is very important. We control during this process, on average, 6 times a meter during various processes, the quality. The last quality control is made by few people, few colleagues, that when the rolls are produced, ready to be delivered, so before putting them in these plastic boxes and to be sent to Hackett or whoever, these people, roll by roll, and you will see if you come, they touch. They touch. The hand must be perfect. If the hand is not perfect, back. 6 months when we buy the wool, we have a piece of fabric, and then starts the whole big work of all your colleagues that are preparing all this. So it's huge, it's quite huge. But the whole combination at the end is creating a nice product, as you have here. So the Winter 17, that is this, I think you have some classics, because these jackets in pure wool, you have since ages. The characteristic of this fabric, that is called sweet felt, is that you have a color outside and a different color inside. But it's one fabric only, there are not two fabrics. Normally you have two colors when you stitch two fabrics together. And the same is on the overcoat. This is the same. You have a fancy here, a plain here. So how we do it is a technical process, because if I put together two fabrics, you pay double. You pay two fabrics. This is one fabric. So it's a technical trick to obtain this effect. The hand is, we call it soft felt, because it's really soft. It's the finishing that is giving this warm hand. Like, maybe the flannels or the wool cashmere flannels that are this fluffy, warm hand. This is pure wool, but you can obtain the same with a machine that is kindly taking out the hair. This fabric, when you see it in the beginning, is like this. Clear cut, it's normal. This is due to the finishing. With some, I'm going to put it like small needles that is getting out the hair and is giving this fluffy hand. Sweet felt is, let me see if I have it here. Yeah, this winter look. I just printed something here, but yes. Merino wool, average diameter of less than 17 microns, is a full lace suiting fabric with a rich soft hand. Yeah, just marketing, nothing that is relevant. While these are wool cashmere. All this, you have the plains and you have the fancy, 90-10. Wool cashmere is a clever label, because the consumers are reading cashmere, is connected with L'Europeana, and is automatically going to value. In reality, there is 10% of you don't really touch cashmere. If you want to touch the cashmere, there we go. This is the pleasure of the morning for everybody. Have you been a good boy yesterday?
I have
Good. So while the wool is coming from Australia, New Zealand, why? Because the merino race is the best. And why I say is the best, how I understand it, that is the best. Because we have ships, here you have Scotland, in Italy. But with that quality, we do carpets, curtains maybe. You cannot do fabrics, you can. Sometimes you do, well, the English fabric, I was thick, considering this. So the measure that I use to understand if this piece of fabric is better than the other, or how I measure, is through the Wool Council. There is an international committee that is practically put some rules in the 80s, because people was a bit abusing of this word. Maybe you're familiar with Super 120, 130, 150, but nobody knows why we call it Super 150. We can call it Super 1 or Super 1 million. Why is 150 or 120 or whatever? So the wool, the merino wool, is on average produced, giving this quality that is from 24 down microns. What is a micron? A micron is a meter divided 1 million. So I need some electronic microscope to understand, to analyze, to measure. So I take the diameter of the fiber. I told you before what was the fiber. I measure the diameter, and less is the diameter, so more thin is the yarn, highest is the value. There is a wool grading that I can't remember forever in my life, even if I did this like this morning 1 million times. So to be recognized, called, to use the name superfine merino wool, the microns must be from 18 down. Else is wool. New wool, they call it in different ways. The Super 130 that you had a lot, I don't know if you have still the continuity, the suits. You had a lot. Stop there. Okay, this is 17.25 microns. The Super 150, and this you don't have. A jacket that is coming, DB, double-breasted Mayfair quilted, I think, is coming. That is the Super 150 and silk brushed, like this finishing I showed you before, is 16.25 and so on. We actually have in our cellar 10.6. So l'European is buying at these auctions where everybody is going to buy the wool. So you have, depending by the microns, the quality. So the Chinese, they mostly go for cheaper quality, so thicker yarns. The production is 5 million bales. A bale is 150 kilo of raw material. When I comb it, I wash it, I remain with the 50% only, 75 kilos. And then we lose another 5 to 7% during the textile transformation, all the works we do. So I buy 150, but in reality, I remain with 70, a bit less than 70. 5 million base production, it means that in these auctions, who is buying the thicker, and you go down, you go down. Due to the quality, the best 30 are offered on private auction only. The best 30 are the best quality of the moment of the year. These are animals. Could be too dry, could be too wet, you never know. So it's a natural issue. It's not that every year they do a better quality. Private auctions, and these are called 1++, this top 30. So who is buying number 30? Auction. Who is offering? Done. L'European is buying the number 1 since 97, always, whatever it costs. And what we did, and we still do, when we bought the first, we put it in a cellar, we say the cellar, and we keep it there until we bought a better one. And when we bought a better one, we put this in the cellar, get the old, and we made one pattern, one color. 50 suits available in the world. This is called record bale. I let you touch this. You touched cashmere before. We understand how we measure even the cashmere, the microns, okay? So the best cashmere in the world is the Inner Mongolian, because Iran, Afghanistan, and China are producing cashmere, but of a different, inferior quality. Because it's not only the micron that is giving me the value, the quality, it's also the color. More is white, highest is the value. Why? Because from white, I can overdye every color. If I buy a dark brown, I can do only black or brown. So more long is the fiber, and more strong is the fiber, and the value is going up and up and up. I give you now the record bale to touch, and then I'm coming back to the cashmere, because the cashmere we buy, the Inner Mongolian, is on average 14 microns. You are touching, I don't know how much is this, 11? This is 20% more fine than the best cashmere in the world. And the last one that we present is on gold card. Because all the people know, there are these customers that are coming in the shop. This is a made-to-measure business. For your info, in the L'Europeana store, a made-to-measure suit with this fabric is at 16,000 pounds. I buy a car, but these guys, they give me the best. Here you are. This is really the best. And when you think, wow, it's very light, it's very delicate, wrong. In a piece of fabric like this, if I use a yarn that is thick like this, how many plies I have? I don't know, 50. If I use a yarn that is thick like this, how many I have? 1,000. Which one is delicate? Heavy doesn't mean that is resistant. If you have the quality, of course, it has to be treated like an old lady. You cannot go cycling in the city under the rain with this suit. Yes. But this with every suit. You should not do it, honestly. We had a lot of complaints in the past for these suits because these guys are wearing a week in a row the same suit, cycling, and then they were complaining that the peeling here. Sure. But every fabric in the world, or you really wear a carpet, or you wear wool polyester, or very thick fabrics, but if you wear quality, it's not a problem of the fabric, this is the use that is wrong. You know that I had a claim last year, a rabbit jacket back, this sort of fabric. All here huge peeling, only here. This guy was constantly like this. Or here, the mouse. This is not the fabric. It's the use you do that is wrong. So the question, the small story before, a cashmere Loropiana, 800 pounds, V-neck, navy. And I go somewhere here, wherever you want, Top Shop, Uniqlo, whatever you want. I have a cashmere V-neck, navy, 85. My God. How is possible? It's cashmere, it's cashmere. It's navy, it's navy. How is possible? If I buy the best, I buy even a white base, longer fiber, the stronger fiber, and the other is buying exactly the opposite, the cheapest. It's cashmere. It's cashmere, but it's cheapest. 30% at the origin and the price immediately. I make it in Italy. The other is made somewhere else. That is good, but a bit different. Mine has a weight that is probably 25% higher. But you don't feel it, you don't know it, because nobody is reading how many grams is a. You take a sweater, you put it there, and you don't understand really the quality. But what's the difference? That the quality stays forever. When it's not quality, what I said before, what you have? Peeling. You know why you have peeling? On the knitwear, on the knitted products, or on, sometimes also on fabrics, but it's mostly on knitted. What is the peeling? The peeling is because, thank you, these are natural fibers. They're coming from the natural animals. And especially the wool, but even the cashmere, with the warmth of our body, they're moving. They try to have a natural torsion. So if I have a long fiber, this is not moving. When I have a short, cheap, inferior quality, it's moving. And when it's moving, you have the peeling. It is coming out. This is it. So I pay for quality. So, but again, I can say, okay, I have 800 pounds, I buy one cashmere, Loro Piana, I keep it there. For this year, I'm fine. Or I buy 10, at the end of the season, I throw them away. Fine, fair enough. But to understand the quality, especially in this area, is so difficult. I used last time this example, because when I sit down with someone, and this is always starting like this, you want to see the new collection? Yeah. You like this? First question, how much? Thank God. How much for what? At least ask me, how much? So if you ask me how much, it's like to enter in a Michelin-star restaurant and check how much it's costing the wine. But don't do it. You know this is really expensive. But the example on the food, on the cars, on the hotels. Nice watch. Someone has a Rolex or I don't understand about watches because as you see. But I had this gentleman once, oh nice, what is Rolex? Yeah. Why don't you have a Swatch? What time is it? I mean, why? Why don't you drive a Smart and you have a BMW? It's a car. Why don't you sleep in a hostel when you go on a holiday? No, you want a 5-star hotel and a spa because your wife, she wants to be treated properly. It's a bed. Oh, it's a bed. I sleep in a bed, so what? So why when I go outside and I have a pasta with tomato sauce, I pay for the same dish, pasta with tomato sauce, Italian, typical, £5 somewhere and £25 somewhere else. It's pasta with tomato sauce. Yes, but I buy the best tomatoes. I buy the cheapest. I buy the best vegetables to make the proper sauce. It's okay. I buy the organic best pasta. The cheapest is pasta, but the ingredients are complete. You feel it immediately. So you can afford it, you probably go back in the good one. You cannot afford it, you probably change the cheap with another one. On food, people understand. On wine, hotels, cars, everything. But when the people is entering in a shop, say starting how much? Yeah, how much for what? So why you pay more these pieces? Because you have the quality. This is the answer. And to let them understand the quality, please do it. That's your duty. I'm trying to give you this message, informations for this reason. So don't be scared to sell a garment that is expensive. Because you give 850 pounds, it's a lot of money. But when you wear this, I feel good personally. When I wear something like this, it's just wow. It's a favor you give to a customer. You're not stolen money. If you had, in case, a cheap cashmere at 700, you say, well, 700 it's easier to sell than 850. But you don't treat well your customer, and you want the customer coming back, as we want your customer coming back, because more you're happy, more they're happy, more you are happy because you're selling, and more us, we are happy because the team is buying more the next year. So the dream is exactly this.